Hey Froggy friends, Kirostyle here, welcome back to Final Fantasy XVI. Thank you so much for joining me here on stream. Hey Kieran, congratulations on being first, welcome. We're going to continue with the main story today. We just got the Shiva powers, and last stream we actually spent most of the stream doing side quests, instead of doing the main story, because a bunch of them popped up at once. But they were really good side quests. They actually closed the story on a lot of our major minor NPCs and their stories, which is kind of cool. But we're going to focus on the main story now. I have a feeling there's going to be another wave of side quests coming up later, and we will do those as we see them, but for now we will continue going. And thank you so much for the sub, Kieran. I really appreciate it. 8 months! Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. I can't believe we've known each other for so long. I really appreciate all your support. Thank you. Hey Psycho Reaper, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for coming by. So, I changed my skill setup here. Not really much changed. I added a Rama skill and a Shiva skill. I basically swapped out skills for ones that basically do the same thing, so I had the Wicked Wheel for Garuda, is now Pile Drive. Pile Drive is pretty fast to use, and it's basically just a circle AoE. And then, instead of the Titan AoE circle, I just replaced it with a Shiva AoE line. Just for a little bit more, you know, when I'm flying around in battle, at least the effects will look a little bit more diverse. But my setup's more or less the same, still like easy attacks, short cooldowns. I might put in Giga Flare later. I was looking up like combos for like skill combinations, and there are certain skills that like chain together well, but they're mostly used for like trash mobs and AoEs, and I don't really have a trouble with AoEs, especially since I use Ignition. But we'll see, I'll play around with it a little bit more. It would be a shame not to try a lot of those skills, but I also like my comfort zone of what I already have set out. I also checked a couple other things. So in the last stream, like I mentioned that there was these like chronolith trials, they're called. You can find them scattered around the realm. You gotta examine things that look like Arret stones to unlock them. And I haven't actually come across any, or I think I've walked past some, but I haven't actually examined them yet. So it's not the way markers that act as waypoints for you to teleport to. I said that when I finish this game, I might do all the hunts. I might do all the Chronolith trials too, just because you get something for doing that. But we'll see how I'm feeling. I mean, I do like playing this game. The other thing is that last stream we also did a quest for Taria, and it felt like the concluding quest for Taria's story, for her personal growth. And she didn't give me an item put in Clive's room, which most of the quests do at the end. And I found out that you actually have to go talk to her afterwards, and then she gives it to you. It's one of the only items in the game that you have to do that for. Most of the time when you finish the side quest, they just give you the item, but for hers, you actually specifically need to go talk to her, which we are about to go talk to her now anyway, so we will get that. So I don't think I'm going to finish the game today, just because I was looking at other people's playthroughs, and like because last stream we spent so much time on side quests, I didn't make that much main story progress, so we didn't actually get as far as I thought. But that's okay because I like playing this game, so we're gonna keep going. Hey Lurk, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for coming by. Yeah, the side quests are the true final boss. You know that medicine girl? You know, she might be the mastermind behind everything. You know, just saying.
How are you feeling, Joshua?
Better than I was.
But not nearly as well as you should be. Your cuts and burns may have healed, but your body still bears the burden of every spell cast.
And what would you have had me do? It was no ordinary foe we faced. It was the Warden of Darkness. Yet still, it was not enough. The king could have ended me at any moment, but instead chose to toy with me like a curl does a mouse.
You underestimate yourself.
Oh, it was crystal clear. Only one man established his dominance that day, and that man was Barnabas. I'm sorry, brother. That was ill-spoken. It's just, I have never felt so powerless. And when so many are looking to us for strength, perhaps the prince feels the same.
Crystalline Dominion. Nameless slum. Oh, we're gonna see what Dion's up to. Dion and the medicine girl. Was Art Infirmary not good enough for you, Dion? You had to go over to this one?
What is this place?
Don't move.
Does Medicine Girl get a name? She's appeared in so many cutscenes. Yeah, there's no way his body is this damaged and his hair is still so perfect. That's what I've been saying about Jill this whole time, too. Her skin is immaculate for someone who's been prisoner for most of her life.
Here, it's fresh from the well. Grandmother told me spirits sometimes get lost, and that the lanterns guide them to their proper place. I set one on the river for her when she passed away.
The fiend works from the shadows. Was it you who guided my hand, then, Ultima? No, not you. This is my doing, my fault, my sin to bear. And for it, I must atone.
Your hurts are healing nicely. It was my poultices that saw you well.
You make them?
And sell them, or try to. Earns me enough for bread, most days.
Forgive me. I have nothing to...
I know, but I couldn't just leave you lying there. You're going then?
Of course. I'm healed. Thanks to you and your poultices.
Will you promise to come back and visit?
I know he's handsome, but you barely met him, girl. Asking him to come back and visit. Had like one conversation with him. But also very sweet, and I hope I hope he comes back and repays the favor, like for real.
Well, Phoenix, it would seem that I owe you my wings.
Well, also I've taken your wings, so I mean, a wing for wing, I guess.
Perhaps he can find an answer. You will be returning to Waloed soon, I gather.
I see no reason to wait.
Then neither do I.
I can think of a few, but I doubt they'll stop you. You will take your medicine.
Of course, Lady Taya.
Set on leaving already, are you?
How long will it take us to get back to Ash?
Dunno, about the same amount of time it took us to get here.
Oh, so quick
Maybe
travel,
less,
very
if
quick.
your uncle can find someone trustworthy to patch up the Enterprise. All depends on where we're putting into port, mind.
Yes. It's not as if we can put ashore wherever we choose. We have to assume that the whole of Ash is hostile, and that we'll be attacked on sight.
Then we must find a place they won't think to look. And I have an idea who might know of one.
The Professor! I'll go and tell you coming.
While you're plotting our course, I'll be in the shelves with your lawsman. I wish to pick his brains about Ultima.
Then I'll talk to Karen about supplies for the journey. They may not be easy to come by in Ash.
I'll just stand here.
Your brother's body won't take much more of this recklessness. You know that, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, all of Ash is hostile, will be attacked on sight. Oh, so it's basically like every other place in this world, I guess? Hey, Spork Fighter, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for following me and being a Froggy friend. Welcome, welcome. Oh yeah, so last stream, remember, we had that conversation about Leviathan, and I was just so curious. I couldn't stop myself, I had to look it up. So, conclusion is, according to what I read, okay, Leviathan is still counted among the 8 icons in this game. I mean, we know because Harpocrates' tomes said that there's still an icon of water. So he's still counted among the 8. And Ifrit then definitely is the 9th, and did not take the spot of Leviathan. But Leviathan does not actually appear in this game, but he does appear in some of the murals. And someone somewhere in the game, I think it might be Harpocrates or someone else, refers to Leviathan as Leviathan the Lost. So I guess people just don't know who his dominant is, or he's just not story relevant. So, unfortunately for people that might have been fans of Leviathan and or fans of water, you're fresh out of luck. It would have been cool, though, to have like a water fight against Leviathan, though. I think that would have been really awesome.
You've seen more of the world these past 5 years than most do in a lifetime. It's a shame you never had a moment to enjoy it.
Hey, Tarya, you owe me an item. Don't tell me I missed my opportunity.
You've seen more of the world these past 5 years than most do in a lifetime. It's a shame you never had a moment to enjoy it.
Or is it because like it's a story moment right now, so she won't give it to me? You owe me an item, Tarya, that I did not pick up last time. You owe me. I'll come back for it, Tarya. I really hope I didn't miss it. It shouldn't be permanently lost. It's probably just time-gated.
I'll still say it were a compliment.
Ah, Clive. I was wondering when you'd arrive. Please tell me you've come to take our young prodigy here off my hands.
I'm not here for Mid. I need information on Ash.
Then why not ask Molly if you can look in one of her ovens? Go on.
Good one, Vivian.
As soon as the
Haha.
Enterprise is ready, we'll be setting out for Drake's Spine. And we're going to need a safe place to land.
Preferably one that won't see my ship blown to shit and splinters.
If it were that easy, do you think Waloed would have resisted invasion for so long? Very little is known of Ash, and the information we do have is spotty and outdated. We have the good King Barnabas to thank for that. Waloed's borders have been closed to outsiders since the day he seized the throne. If there is anywhere safe to land, you won't find it on my map.
And tell us what we will find. I'm sure you know better than we do.
But no splinters.
All right, if it will get you out of my hair. But interrupt me, and it's over. Understood?
Why are you so prickly today, Vivian?
Barnabas Tharm, the one they call the last king. Understand him, and you will understand the kingdom of Waloed. Barnabas was only a boy when he arrived from beyond the southern seas, and barely a man before he united the ragged tribes of Ash. And having unleashed them upon the formidable Veldemark, he set his throne upon the ancient kingdom's ruins. The victory sent shockwaves around Valisthea, tales of Odin's might spreading through every court, parlor, and drinking hole in the realm. Note that this was in the year 843, and that the king still sits upon his throne some 40 years later, quite untouched by time. Waloed's recent inaction left many wondering if Odin had lost his appetite for war. And yet here we are. The Einherjar was committed to the fray, a bold declaration of intent. Orcs swarm around Drake's Fang, and throngs of Akashic haunt Canva's streets. Though how precisely the havoc they wreak serves Waloed remains unclear. Regardless, if the order to attack truly came from King Barnabas, then one thing is certain. Waloed has achieved the impossible, and made bedfellows of beastmen and the ether-addled alike. All of which is a roundabout way of saying that you will be in unknown territory when you set foot on Ash. Much of the continent has already been lost to the Blight, and what few ports remain will be fiercely guarded. And that is to say naught of its natural defenses. Offshore currents will cast an ill-equipped ship out to sea one moment, and dash it against the rocks the next. But then the Enterprise is anything but ill-equipped, and Mid has made land there before. Now, if only there were someone with an intimate knowledge of the Shadow Coast, and where a daring gentleman might put ashore.
Gentlemen, you say? I think this is a job for the Gentlemen of Light.
You see, Clive, you had the answer all along.
Do you think you can get us back to that beach, Mid?
Picked you up from it, didn't I? Not that it were easy. The currents were a right bastard. But then, if it wasn't hard, it wouldn't be worth doing, would it?
Well said. Thank you, Lady Vivian.
If a few morsels of common knowledge and a sprinkling of tavern talk are worthy of your thanks, I wonder what genuine intelligence might earn me.
Probably more visits. Mid, I need everyone in the ale hall now. I'll fetch Joshua from the shelves.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Wait, I see a side quest already. Are you kidding me? Oh, it's Taria. Okay, fine, Taria. Give me that item. Oh, it's not Taria. Oh, it's Yote. Okay, Taria, you owe me an item.
Clive, I wanted to give you something for the kindness you showed my mentor.
Thank you.
What's this?
A chest of all the medicines you're ever likely to need. Seeing as you're so reluctant to come to the infirmary, I thought you might as well take a part of the infirmary with you.
I'm sure it will be very helpful indeed. And Taya, try not to work too hard.
And work Rodrigue all the harder, you mean? He's a quick study, but he's got a long way to go yet. I'll take that particular piece of advice when you heed it yourself, thank you very much. Besides, who else is going to see that your brother takes his medicine?
Who indeed?
Taria be like, here's a medicine chest of all the medicines you might need, since you aren't coming to the infirmary. And Clive's like, oh, thank you for all this medicine that I should carry, because I'll need it. I'll put it in my room to put on display. Hey, Ditsanel. Hey, Ash. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for coming by.
I'm glad I was there for his final moments. He deserved the peace he chose.
I was surprised that Yote was not in the last cutscene when we were in the infirmary, considering how worried she must be for Joshua.
Please, your grace, stay strong. Ah, my Lord Marquis.
Well, she has a couple other things to say. Ask about Yote.
It was the greatest honor of my life.
To be appointed protector to his grace. I have served him in that capacity since he first began his journey across Valisthea. The purpose of which was twofold. To further the Undying's knowledge of Ultima, and to further his grace's knowledge of you, my lord. After he learned of your survival, your brother insisted we try to trace your movements. Thanks to the investigations of my fellow acolytes, we learned of your having taken the name of Cid.
But now...
Our journey together is at an end. His grace bids me remain here and protect those you and he hold dear.
So I bid you.
If I may be so bold, please look after him in my stead. It's funny that, like, I don't know, like, she comes across as she was, like, a main character, because she's, like, you know, in all those cutscenes and helping Joshua, and then the second we get Joshua, he just ditches her, and then she just disappears from all the main story cutscenes. It's kind of sad.
Your companions are kind indeed.
Everyone has been most welcoming. Lady Taria has been especially gracious. Though I know something of the medicinal arts, it's hardly enough to warrant the acclaim of one so skillful.
I must admit...
At first I doubted that her praise was sincere. We Undying are trained in what simple skills might serve us in the field, but there is certainly no praise for those who excel in such endeavors.
But I see now.
This is your way. You encourage each other that each might lend their strength to the cause, no matter how seemingly slight their contribution. Oh, you're starting your next semester of college tomorrow. I hope it goes well for you. Good for you. Thanks for taking the time to stop by and relax a little bit before your first day.
Yote, is anything the matter? You seem troubled. Perhaps I might be able to help.
My lord. Yes. Perhaps you might. It's your brother. His condition continues to worsen, though he does his best to hide it. The lesion on his chest pains him more with each passing day.
I had feared as much.
There are certain elixirs which can ease the suffering of those afflicted by the curse, but... But his grace's case is severe. The drafts I have been able to prepare for him thus far have ceased to have any real effect. So I consulted with Talia and certain of my comrades among the Undying about the possibility of finding something stronger. And thankfully, a recipe was found. The only problem being that the critical ingredient is exceptionally hard to come by, and our supplies are almost exhausted. Unless we can secure more soon, your brother's anguish will likely become unbearable. My lord, I know that I have no right to make demands of you. But would you help? For Joshua's sake.
For Joshua? Anything.
Thank you, my lord.
So, what is this critical ingredient?
A rare herb by the name of stonerwort. It grows only where the ether is densest. The vigor it stores in its stems helps to counteract the curse. We discovered a patch near the aqueduct in Rosaria. But alas, yet more ether has erupted from the earth there recently, leaving the whole area flooded. The search continues for a new source. One that we might reach without being turned.
So it's only that you can't reach it? The Stonerwort itself is unharmed by the flood?
Well, yes, but...
Then I shall go in your stead.
But, my lord...
You've yet to find another source, correct? So for now, the aqueduct is our best hope. Besides, I'm a dominant. The ether can't hurt me.
Well, if you're sure, my lord. Stonerwort is easily identified by its blood-red blooms. Search around the aqueduct, and you're sure to find some soon enough. I shall remain here and prepare the other ingredients.
The ether never bothered me anyway.
I had only thought to ask for your assistance in finding a new source of stonerwort. But if you're sure about collecting it from the flood by the aqueduct, I should be most grateful, my lord.
Okay, good. That's the only side quest so far that has popped up. Okay, that's not far. I can do that.
Let's go. Run like the wind.
Oh, come on, you silly spiders. I'm almost 10 levels above you. You shouldn't even be picking fights with me.
Here's the aqueduct. Now to find our stonewort. Yote mentioned blood-red petals.
Wait a second. My chocobo could definitely get turned Akashic. I just thought of that. Torgal probably too. I mean, Torgal probably has magical, like, Fenrir abilities or whatever the game will tell me, but I feel like I shouldn't be dragging you guys through a bunch of ether, but okay. I can't see the bush!
It's over. Here it is. Better collect as much as I can before reinforcements arrive. Right. That should do it. Let's get these back to Yote.
Easy, fast side quest, nice. Oh, hey, Joe.
Karen says she'll provide what she can for our voyage to Ash, and has even agreed to forgo payment. Until our return, that is.
Hey, Hikaru, welcome to the stream. Thanks for coming by. Things are going well. I hope you're having a great day.
Yote, I brought back all the stone and water I could find. Will this be enough?
my lord. Thank you. I'm sure it will serve us until we can find another source.
I'm very glad to hear it.
You and His Grace are very much alike, you know. You think only of how you might help others, and never of the danger to yourselves.
No more than you have minding my brother. You've risked a lot for him, and I thank you for it.
I am honored that you should say so. But I beg you, my lord, do not give too much of yourself for the sake of others. We could not afford to lose you.
Are you telling me to stop doing side quests?
You and your brother really are alike, my lord. Though selflessness is a virtue, I beg you, please take more care of yourselves.
Goodbye, Ote.
How do you split the sea?
Well, thanks for calling Kirby. Karu, I appreciate it. Hey, little guy.
I have no reason to assume otherwise.
Clive, you must listen to this. Lawsman, tell him.
Do you recall when we spoke before on the divinity of Ultima? Well, it inspired me to delve deeper into the subject. And what I discovered appears to agree with the findings of His Grace.
You will recall that my quest to uncover Ultima's origins began with the mural at Phoenix Gate. But while I've always known it to be important, its secrets have heretofore eluded me. Now, however, I believe I know where to find the more complete example, one that will reveal all we seek.
Master Clive, have you ever in your travels chanced to hear of the Circle of Malleus? I would think not, if you have. But there was once a time when the faith flourished, the oldest known religion in the Twins, and though its popularity eventually waned on Storm, hints of its dogma remain embedded in more modern faiths such as the Crystalline Orthodox.
Wait, you said it waned on Storm. What of Ash?
Religious monuments are often torn down or repurposed when new faiths rise to prominence. But if no new faith arose, then perhaps the ancient temples might still stand. And so, you see now why I must accompany you to Waloed.
It would appear the past still has much to teach us, though in this case, it would not have been possible without the musings of Moss. To think that you carried a copy of my old mentor's chronicles all along. I am relieved to discover it in good hands.
I shall guard it with my life.
Joshua, if you're finished here, join me in the ale hall. I need to speak to everyone before we leave.
Right away.
Come to think of it, I haven't bought a round of ales for everyone yet, have I?
If it please your grace, might I one day borrow the chronicles for a short while?
Of course, Lawsman Hippocrates. You need but ask.
Mid said I can ride the Enterprise.
My apologies.
By now you've all heard where we're going and why. So I won't bother you with the boring details, only the important ones. If we attempt to approach Stone here by sea, there's a good chance we'll be sighted and fall prey to the capital's artillery. So instead, we'll disembark on the southwest coast and make for Drake's Spine on foot. I say we, but it's highly likely the entirety of Ash is under the rule of Ultima. A large party would only attract unwanted attention. as well as slow our march and require supplies which may be difficult to obtain. Only Joshua and I will be going.
Jill, you're out.
Preferably a good one. Gav, do you know of any?
You bet your ass I do. Might still borrow some of Lady Vivian's maps, though. Just in case, like.
Once you've dropped us off at the Shadow Coast, you need to retreat into neutral waters, fly merchant colors, and stay inconspicuous. If you sense any danger at all, you leave us behind and return to Storm.
Inconspicuous is my middle name. But like hell am I leaving anyone behind. The ship ain't going nowhere till your scurvy mugs are smiling on deck.
Mid-adult inconspicuous Telemon.
The Enterprise will appear a tempting target for royalists and pirates alike. You're to stop anyone boarding.
Don't worry. I'll keep the ship and her crew safe. You'll be needing passage home, after all.
Yeah, Jill, you're not plot relevant anymore. I already got your powers.
But... very well.
If there are no questions, I'll see you all at the docks.
Can she still use her ice magic, though? I guess she is a bearer, technically, too. So she could probably still use it?
When you're leaving. I want a word before you go.
Of course.
What can I get you, Sid?
Also, I kind of find it funny where it's like, I know it's implied, but he was like Gav is like a really good spy, right? And he's like, Gav, do you know any good spies? Okay, let's order one drink.
Coming right up. Don't be a stranger, Sid.
See, that's the thing, is after we took Titan from Kupka, we didn't see him using Titan powers until he transformed. Same with Benedicta as well, so I actually don't know. I'm going to assume that Jill can still use ice magic, because otherwise she'd be a very boring... I was gonna say party member, but I'm not even sure she's gonna be a party member anymore.
Welcome back, Sid.
You want? I'll buy a round for everyone, because I'm in a good mood.
Well, someone's in a good mood.
Yep, that's me.
Drink up, you lot. The next round's on Sid. Oh, you're not leaving already, are you?
Okay, well, that was a little underwhelming. Look, there's no one here.
Do you recommend?
Who did I treat?
This is a tavern, not a brothel.
Thought I might grab myself a mug of Maeve's mead. Settle me stomach, you know, before we take to the high seas.
I just treated you, Gav. Wait. Okay, I gotta talk to Otto. I also want to check my medicine chest, which Taria told me to take with me, and clearly I did not listen. Beautifully carved chest that opens to reveal countless compartments full of tonics and tinctures. As Clive often proved a difficult patient, reluctant to come to the infirmary, Taria commissioned this Kiro that he might take a part of the infirmary with him, which he subsequently decided to leave behind in his room. Clive, there's but one crystal left needs cracking, and but one man who can do it. See that you don't miss. Otto. Why did you send me this letter, Otto? I'm literally on my way to talk to you. It's like one sentence, man.
I am certain we will find what we seek in Ash, and learn the truth of Ultima's origins.
I also like how they never explain how Clive like gets his icon sucking powers under control. When he does it for Benedicta, it just kind of happens because he's, well, it looks like he's reaching for her boob and then suddenly it just starts happening. But then when it comes to Sid, it's like suddenly he learned how to control it, I guess.
How do you split the sea?
Is something wrong?
Not at all. Honestly. Can't a man wish his friend farewell?
You already sent me a letter,
Just
Otto.
want to let you know that I'll keep things in order while you're off saving the world.
I'll hold you to that.
In your head, he still just reaches for Sid's boobs. Fair enough. Don't give me any side quests. Don't give me any side quests. Okay, thank you. I am side quest free for a short period of time.
Reckon it'll be a long walk to the capital if we follow the cliffs. I'll scout ahead, see if I can't find us an inland route.
Clive. There's something I've been meaning to ask. You took her icon, didn't you?
Is that what kids call it nowadays?
I did.
Icon?
She understood.
What are you really asking me, Joshua?
Oh, she understood. Understood that you decided to save the world all on your own, and that you'd die without her power. How dare you make her choose? You knew damn well she'd never refuse you. But I will. You can't keep pushing us away, Clive. The world is ours to save, not yours.
I used my gift because I thought it was the right thing to do.
And you truly believe this will save you? Will save us all?
Well, how else will I get ice powers, Joshua?
I do.
I can't go the whole game without them, man.
Then so be it.
Oh, okay. You're cool with it now? Okay.
Just don't forget, you're not alone.
Think I've found us a trail. Did I miss something?
the very awkward smile from Joshua.
Only that Joshua didn't.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I like how it's always assumed that Torgal's with me. Clive never needs to specify that Torgal's coming with him. He's just there. He's like a part of me. Man, like, Clive and Joshua really have not had an actual heart-to-heart since he rejoined us, you know? When is he gonna do the awkward "I'm sorry for killing you" conversation, right? He never had that. I feel like that'd be the first thing.
Wanted to visit Ash.
We're in Waluda territory now. Don't expect a warm welcome.
Wow, Gab actually gets to walk with us?
Clive. That castle over there looks inviting enough.
Shall we sample its inhabitants' hospitality?
This Gav is like kind of a party member, but every time he's with us, he's like, "I'll meet you up ahead. I'll meet you up ahead."
What I said about warm welcomes, Gav.
This place is as dead as Grieger's ghost.
Hello.
I knew I smelled something. I see only orcs.
So villagers made it out in time.
Ow.
It's this one.
This creepy ambient music kind of sounds like the music from Alice Madness Returns. Especially like when you're in chapter 3 at the beginning, and the Veil of Tears is all destroyed. Like the same type of ambience. I like that the bodies of the enemies just stay there too, unless they're Akashic. Like just to remind you that you just killed them right there. They don't despawn. It kind of adds to the like feel of the place. Oh, my ice missed. Who's casting protect? You. Stop it. Yeah. Rest in peace, Stone Skin. Never forget. Stone Skin and protect.
It's Camber all over again. Where the hell are the royalists?
Seems you were right about that welcome after all, Clive.
That's a lot of dudes.
Is the whole of Ash fallen into Ultima's hands?
That's no peace delegation. We should send a warning to the others.
No. My uncle will have an eye on the coast. I trust he'll find a way to entertain any uninvited guests. Our mark is Drake's Spine, and there's a lot of road between us and it. We press on to Stone here.
Aye, you never know. It might not be a nest of slavering monsters.
Not gonna be, we gotta get to Stone here. But right now it's Stone there.
Clive, you must go on ahead without me. This stronghold is as old as Phoenix Gate. Perhaps older.
Oh, thanks, Lurk.
It may yet hide Ultima's remaining secrets. And if we are to best him, they must be unearthed.
All right. Stay out of trouble.
I always do. Mostly.
Do you? Well, it was nice having you in the party for like 3 fights.
Sure about this.
About leaving my brother on his own. Of course. Mostly.
It's not like we'll need him for the fight against Odin, huh? Huh?
Lady Vivian's map is so old it's hard to tell which way is up. But if I'm right, we're not far from a village called Eastla.
Then we make our way there, resupply, and wait for Joshua.
Well, if we were gonna wait for him anyways, we should have just gone with him, and then we could just go there together. And he never knew that we were gonna meet him there, right? So, no one told him the plan. I feel like you're just making this up as you go, Clive. Mud crab.
This place reeks like a morble's arsehole.
How do you know what a morble's arsehole smells like?
Smell that will kill us.
All yours, Torvald.
Birds. And a turtle. Okay, it's literally just one big... Wait. The angry gap.
This one. Over here! Attack! Get him! This one! Get him! Titan! Now,
Oh, look at him squirm. He's so big. Poor thing. I like finishing them off with a punch, but that's kind of brutal. Goodbye. Oh, look at him squirm. Yes, I literally killed him.
Over here! All yours, Torgal.
Look at those mud crabs running away from me. Cowards. Oh look, it's a jelly. Ow, hey, you jumped really far. ACB, welcome to the stream. Wish this tree wasn't in the way. I got sharp fangs from that thing? Okay. Or were the sharp fangs from the birds that I slew alongside him? Either way, it doesn't make much sense. Oh, there's this little branch in the way. There we go. Oh, the birds do give me fangs. Interesting. I mean, I know birds have teeth, but not sure if I would call them fangs. Oh, hi. Oh, that thing jumps really far. There we go. Oh, I can't even walk through this. Oh, I see. I wasn't supposed to be here. Oops. I ran to that jelly's home and then killed him. I'm so sorry.
Oh, much breath. Don't look down, Torgal.
A long, rickety old bridge over a large canyon. Surely this is not plot relevant. Surely it's not gonna break and cut us off on one side. Surely it's not gonna separate us from Joshua.
That must be Aistla.
Chess? No? Poor Joshua, he hasn't even learned how to fast travel yet.
What do you think, Clive?
Then we're too late.
Damn it. They're all turned. There's nothing we can do.
I wouldn't say nothing.
No quarter gap!
No quarter!
I love sweeping them all up like that, it's great.
Over here!
Get him!
No, not you. You!
Get him!
You think all the villages in Ash are like this?
A question for later, Gap.
All yours, Torgal. Go, Torgal! Over here! There you go!
Here they come!
And come, and come, and come.
The finishing moves happen automatically as you attack. It's kind of cool, but I can't control them, which makes it all the better. It's like a nice little surprise.
Over here! Ah! This one! I don't want to die here, Clive! Then don't!
Easy, then don't. Idiot.
Slow.
Yeah, Gav, you even have a health bar. You shouldn't be complaining. You are literally incapable of dying right now. Oh, that was easy. Big dude? Big dude. Yeah, big dude. Seriously, why are there so many big people in this world? Where do they all come from? What do they eat?
It isn't over yet. Of course it bloody isn't. Nice try.
I gotta unlock from you. There you go.
Over here. Awaken. This one. All yours. Kill. This one. The main blades. Now, Corvo. All yours, Corvo. Gav. Gav! Don't tell me there's more of the bastards. Oh, fuck.
Oh, great! Hi, Odin.
Have you come to watch, Odin?
Bound for Stonehill. Good. My master awaits you in the capital, though I cannot allow you to attend him in your present state.
And how are you going to stop us?
Why, with this!
That's a lot of sword spears. Oh, they're Gungnir's. Hey Blue Moss, hey Yusanoha, welcome to the stream.
What did you do?
If the vessel would see the path open, it has but to ask. I shall see that my master's prize is made presentable.
That didn't answer the question. Psych! I was only pretending to stomp on you! Psych! Oh, that Odin. He's such a joker.
Clive, would you mind telling me what the fuck just happened?
He trapped us in here with the birds. Oh, well, that's not good.
Oh, you've got to be. How are we supposed to get through that?
We seek an audience with the king. If His Majesty wants me to come and ask him, then that is exactly what I'll do.
Before you go practicing your petition, we don't even know where the fucker went. How about we cool our heads and think this through, eh?
You think we're playing hide and seek here, Gav? Is that what you think?
All right. Maybe there's something here we can use.
Torgal, let me pet you. I need to calm my nerves. Torgal. Torgal? Torgal. Let me pet you. Come on, boy. Come on, boy. Let me pet you. I need to think. It'll help. Boy. Boy, let me pet you. Torgal, please. What did I do? Torgal. Torgal. Fine. Oh, you too, Gav. You too. Gav. 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 Give me a hug. Gav. Gav. Why are you backing away from you, Gav? Gav. Fine. Be that way.
I thought we got them all.
So did I.
Yeah, let's ambush this poor, defenseless woman.
Please, no.
Wait, is that Barnabas's mom?
Miss.
Oh no, never mind.
Whoa. Easy, easy. We're not turned, alright?
Who?
Torgal just chilling.
My thanks, kind travelers.
Edda, forgive me for asking, but what went on here?
Her name's Edda, that's not a good sign. Final Fantasy XIV taught me.
It all started when the skies changed. The elders said it was the Arche. One by one, people went mad. Minds taken by the ether. Till only I remained. By then, I was too far along to run. And then the nights came. And I didn't know what to do.
And this, Arche is...
Just a story. Something our grandparents told us when we misbehaved. About how the heavens would grow dark before the land took her last breath.
The end of the world. You said the others went mad. But where did they go?
They all left. Drawn east to the tower, to reverie. The elders, the healer, the blacksmith, my husband.
Aw, that's so sad. He left her behind.
You thinking he did this?
Of course. Who else could it be? You were in Canva. You saw what he did to the people.
But then what about her? How come her nut hasn't cracked?
Nut hasn't cracked.
The baby, perhaps? Could be protecting her from the ether. I can't think of any other explanation.
You mean... it's a bearer?
It won't matter what it is once Ultima's magic takes hold. Time's running out. This tower. That's where we'll find the king.
Hey Aru, welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, Joshua got locked out.
I knew it. It's the same as Phoenix Gate.
Who are you talking to, Josh? Just talking aloud? Understandable.
Which means at the end of these stairs should be.
Well, I guess technically you're talking to me.
The mural is complete. Ultima and his vessel, Ifrit. Garuda, Ramu, Shiva, Titan, Bahamut, Odin. Even Leviathan the Lost is here.
Oh, there we go. That's what I talked about.
Where is the Phoenix? By the Founder.
See, I don't get.
That's what you want, isn't it?
Like, he sealed Ultima inside himself, yet Ultima's still out there doing as he pleases, so I guess he just slowed him down? Yeah, during our fight with Bahamut, Ifrit and Phoenix did the fusion dance.
So that's
it was
how it's gonna
fantastic.
be, then.
I'm not asking, Gav. I need you to stay with Edda.
What?
I must do this alone. If I don't return, you're to find Joshua and make for the Enterprise. Understood?
Aye. Just don't you go dying on me. Sid's name suits your miserable mug better than mine.
Don't worry. I haven't finished with it yet.
I do wish that everyone just called him Clive all the time instead of alternating between Sid and Clive. That's just me, though. You want me to go here? Okay.
If Barnabas is controlling the Akashic, then wherever he goes, they'll follow. And so will I.
Over here!
Birds! Well, dragon things.
This Get him! Over here!
high.
No mistakes.
Maybe I'll try this. What we'll do is we'll do... Which one does more stagger damage? Ice Age doesn't do much stagger damage. Let's replace it. I think I should have enough ability points for this. I'm gonna try this. Well, that costs a lot of points to master. Okay, but Giga Flare is supposed to be like the strongest attack. Let's see if I can deal with how long the cooldown is on it. I wish it would tell me, like, in seconds, what the cooldown was here. I know it's longer. We'll try it. It does seem like a shame that I don't use any of the ultimate abilities. I wish that you could assign an attack to the X key instead of just square and triangle. That might be too much though. Edge of Infinity.
This is it, boy.
So I know whenever it sends me back to the map like this is basically a dungeon. I'm gonna fight Odin at the end of it. It just kind of takes me out of it every time they send me back to the world map after a cutscene. And clearly I can still quick travel to all the other towns, so he hasn't actually locked me in this area, apparently.
I've come for you, Barnabas.
Third time's a charm. Hey Candace, welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by.
Stay close, Torgal. the tower. It's alive. More echoes of the fallen. They seem to feed on ether. All yours, Toro! Smoke on! Over here! Smoke on! Get him!
This music's cool.
Bloody fallen. Why do all their floors seem to have a mind of their own?
No elevator fight. No elevator fight. Fight in the room where the elevator was. Oh, dang it, I missed the bomb. Ow, stop hitting me off the screen, I can't see you. Oh, Torgal, you knocked him out of the way. If the elevator isn't moving vertically, is it still an elevator? I mean, I guess so. I don't count that as an elevator fight, though. Thank the ancient civilizations for dropping potions on the floor everywhere. So, the bombs don't seem to stick to my ignition attack very well.
Nice try. Over here! This one! Go for it! Over here! This one! Go for it! Nice try. Get him! Go for it! Over here! Fire and flame!
Let's try this. Okay. It was strong, but I don't think it's going to be as strong as however long that cooldown was. Okay, I guess the cooldown on it isn't that long. I mean, only because I've upgraded it, I think. I don't think I have enough skill points to fully upgrade a second attack, though. Second ultimate attack. See, it's still not off cooldown yet, but it's almost there, so... Beam! Torgal is just a hair short of getting annihilated by this thing. Kamehameha! Oh, another elevator. Wait, is this the elevator I took? Okay, good, it's a different one. Oh, hi.
Mistakes.
I guess time seems to freeze or slow down when I fire my laser too. Because the stagger doesn't go down as much. Thundaga! Ow! I dodged back into it.
Let's try. Attack! Get him! Over here! Titan! Sick him!
Yeah, if I save the laser for when they're out of stagger, it probably like melts their stagger bar too. So it's like, do you use it when they're in stagger to get the most damage out of it, or do you use it outside of stagger to get them back into stagger? I guess that's a choice you have to make. Thanks for the stretch, Kieran. Good call. I thought it said the flavor of ice, so the favor of ice. How big is this place? Oh, this looks like an elevator fight. Oh, maybe not.
If I were Barnabas, where would I be?
With his mommy.
So I could look down on the world.
He'd be with his mommy. Oh, hello. And it's like going through the binding coil of Bahamut all over again.
Get him! This one! All yours, Torgal!
There's so many of you.
Get him! Stay down! Now, Torgal! Over here!
Ow. He hit me after he died. A little present from beyond the grave. So many elevators. Oh, we're finally there. Oh, just kidding. Oh, I have to do a fight as Clive? Does that mean I don't get to fight Barnabas again and I just go straight into Odin? Oh, it's this asshole again.
Well, that's new. Though I expected it from the rest.
Beam! Wow, if you can jump higher than that, I know you can. Okay, actually that wasn't... He didn't have very much HP, so... I'll probably still end up fighting Barnabas and then Odin again.
What was that thing? Hopefully there aren't any more.
No chests in here. Extra potions. There you go. Thank you. The victory screen missed the chance to say Soul Taker's soul taken. Oh, you win some, you lose some. There's more? Seriously?
You know what to do, boy.
Get out of here. Oh, sweet. Two doors. Let's go this way. They probably lead to the same place. Or I have to go through one and then come back and go through the other. Oh yeah. I have to go in here and then kill everything and then come out or something. Wait, is this an elevator? Oh, never mind. Hey Lace, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for coming by. Thank you for the sleeveless stream. Happy real birthday, right? 'Cause yesterday was your birthday stream, but today's your real birthday, isn't it? Happy birthday! You guys should go check out Lace when you get a chance. He's really cool. He plays Final Fantasy XIV and mystery games and RPGs. ADS, seriously? Oh, you're like a fancy ADS. The ADS is a boss from Final Fantasy XIV. For those of you not in the know. Oh god. What are you doing? Oh. Oh god, it's more like the compound than it is the ADS. Oh god, he made me go through him! That bastard! Blowing all of my attacks on this thing. is why you don't only equip ultimate attacks, because otherwise you won't have anything on cooldown. Kamehameha! Was he trying to catch me in a sandwich? There's more! An Iron Giant. I was almost a Clive sandwich. Jill wishes she were here. Oh man!
What's one more, eh, Toggle?
Oh, it's an Aurum Giant. It's more advanced than the Iron Giant, clearly. Ow! Get me out of here!
Nice try. Get him.
Finally! It's over 50,000! Oh, you're dead. Okay. I wasn't looking at his health bar. Are we done now? Barney, are you done with all your minions? You just want me to use up all my potions before I fight you, don't you? No, I don't need a third elevator fight. Unless the third one is Barnabas. Which again, it's so weird that they named him Barnabas, just because whenever I think of Final Fantasy Barnabas, I think of Barnabas from Final Fantasy IV, who is like the dumb giant Frankenstein monster, who they also put in 14. Why does he look almost exactly like Clive?
Almost there.
They could have, I don't know, made him a ginger or something so he'd look different. He's perfect as he is. You like Barnabas? You're a Barnabas fan? You stop giving me high potions?
I can feel him.
Just give me regular potions? Oh yeah, 100%. Once this game comes out for PC, there's gonna be mods out the wazoo. Just look at like Resident Evil 4. There were like mods on it like before it even came out. And 7 Remake, yes. That too. Yeah, exactly. They already have the nude models in the game. They just need to use mods so that he's naked all the time, and then there you go. Square Enix did half the job for us already.
Why?
The blade must ever feed if her edge is to remain keen.
Was that supposed to rhyme? That was terrible.
What care you for these worthless creatures? They are nothing. Weak from the moment of their conception, ever longing for power not theirs to command, they turn unfailingly upon themselves. Like sheep, they roam in filthy flocks, eager to trample those few gifted a fleece of gold. Or that they might feel contentment with their pitiful existence. Prejudice and persecution, severance and strife, every earthly wrong springs from the malice in men's hearts. Malice born of the pain and suffering that is free will.
Okay, blah blah blah, you're talking, but...
Its corruption is gnawed at your being from the very moment of your birth.
You're saying words, but none of them are really, you know, making sense.
You're wrong. It is no corruption. It is who I am. Every choice I make, right or wrong, gives me reason to carry on. And carry on I shall. Not as a puppet, but as a man. Which are you?
There
Yes.
was a time I
A close-up
too
on his
thought
nostrils,
those
that's exactly
were
what I
my
need.
Choices. What? Long ago, God granted man the gift of magic. And with that gift did he build great civilizations. Yet over time, man lost sight of the gift's true meaning, stepping from the path of shared prosperity to one of avarice. He abandoned his creator for sword and flame, and through his folly, beckon the blight.
Okay, wake me up when your speech is done, okay?
Yet, there were those few who refused to turn their eyes from the heavens. And they prayed to God that he might lead them back to righteousness. And the Lord, he did answer. Before the worthy shall the gates of paradise open. And so did I spread my arms to the ether, and cast my soul upon its gentle waters. I gave myself unto him.
The man's a Genesis fanboy, you're right.
What madness is this? My worth proven, the Lord charged me thus. If your kind are to find salvation, they must be made to serve. You see, paradise lies but a single step away. Could we only take it? Could we only leave our transgressions behind? For none save the pure of heart and mind may set foot in the new world. I will save us. But it all begins and ends with you. You are the key, Mythos. And with this humble offering, shall I prove my faith once more?
Just fight me, okay?
So you forsook your kingdom. You forsook yourself to serve. Tell me, how is that living? What you seek to provide is not salvation. It's anything but. Life is about always having a choice. Take that away, and we might as well be dead.
Very well. Come then. Show us the strength of your will.
It's not the strength of my will that should worry you, but the weakness of yours.
Ooh, badass line.
If you think your will the stronger, prove it. By this day's end, you shall know the truth.
This one.
You will obey. Blessed with the might of a god, yet still you fight like a man.
This one.
Ow, stop it.
Get him.
Oh, I shouldn't have dodged back into that.
Must I show you?
This one. There's a good boy.
And what you see?
Oh, it didn't let me Garuda grab him. You are very tall in your armor, sir.
This one. Show me more. Over here. Get him. Stick him. Go for it. This one.
Oh, that wasn't good. You like my laser?
God chose you to serve as his vessel, and you cling to this foolish notion of hope when there is none.
Oh, okay. Just gonna transform now? That is a very big foot. Is it Ifrit time already? I'll take it. Falcon! Punch! Okay, never mind.
You have been shown the path. Now you must follow it. Free yourself, Mythos. You will not defeat me otherwise. We'll see.
Great, a small arena. Ow! Hey! Excuse me? I should have brought in Titan for that one. Yeah, it was like the Star Ocean 3 final boss. What if I just... Okay, that was... Ow. I shouldn't have unguarded. Thank you, Titan. I don't like this small arena. Oh, Titan can't guard against that. Okay, never mind then. My mistake. No fair, I can't Garuda grab him. Oh, you didn't tell me you're gonna do two. Oh, come on, there we go. I'm lasering Torgal too, I'm sorry, boy. Oh, I'm too far away. Uh-oh. Get me out of here. Dang it. The multi-hit moves don't work on him because he just keeps teleporting around. I should not have equipped these.
Defeated. You admitted defeat the moment you turned your back on us. When you turned your back on the truth, Barnabas. We are not as weak as your god.
Look at how tall he is. He's so tall. No, go away, Torgal! No, Torgal! Oh, thank goodness.
Damn it.
I still don't know how Torgal survives any of the primal fights other than plot armor. We destroy like the entire city and somehow he makes it fine. Where is Torgal? I sure hope he's okay off screen. Boy, I wish you were here, Joshua. Yep, Torgal, I hope you got out of there. Well, that's not fair. You can fly. I can't.
What are you waiting for? Men know nothing of strength. What you will.
That's a long sword. god, are you gonna catch it, Clive? Instead of dodging it? That'd be so easy to dodge. Okay, we're gonna do this instead, because it's cooler. Woohoo! Throw it back at him. Throw it back at him. Wait, I have a sword now.
You dare!
I have a sword now.
Could it be you have made a weapon of your weakness? My apologies. You are not the fool I took you for.
I don't understand how Clive turned his weakness into a strength, but okay. Oh, he's gone crazy.
Don't tell me you are tired, Mythos. Your
His voice.
stubborn defiance has stirred my long-becalmed heart.
he's Zant.
With a joy that I have not known for generations.
He's basically Zant.
Thought the tantalizing kiss of self-indulgence, a dream forever out of reach. And now that its sweet ruin courses through my veins, I shall not be quick to relinquish it. Show me your work, Mythos, that I might revel in it!
I hope your HP bar's where I left off. Oh, thanks. Oh god. Oh, yes!
Nice try.
I don't know if this is a good idea, but... Oh, I shouldn't have dodged into that.
Nice try.
Ah! Okay, we did it.
Long have I suffered the disappointment of lesser rivals. No more.
Great, now he's Gaius Van Balser.
My constant congregation, salvation is come. Rejoice.
Oh, you're not done.
Your mere existence is proof of the Lord's grand design. I'll never serve your God.
Oh no. Oh, that was... I did not mean to do that, but that was super cool. Ow, I'm running out of potions. Okay, I'm glad I brought Giga Flare with me now.
My heart, it soars as it did the day I won Ash.
Oh, I didn't mean to, I should not have done that.
Since then, many have sought my crown, Ethos, but none could wrest it from my head.
Okay, I'm picking the wrong directions. I can't even hit him. Oh, there's his hand. Well, this is great. Can't just pull out new attacks on me now. What? You turned into a Beyblade? What the hell? I can't see. I shouldn't. No, that bad idea. Stop doing the Beyblade attack. How? Okay, there goes my last potion. Well, perfect timing. Oh, I thought he was on the other. I thought I was on the other side. Oh god, I'm so dead. I'm so dead. Why didn't I dodge that? Okay, where's it gonna set me back? Where's it gonna set me back? Okay, not too bad actually. What gave me back my high potions and my low potion though? Hey, that Odin face was very mean. I got hit by like every attack when he was gigantic. That was very spicy though. It would have been even cool if I pulled it off. See, every time I do a multi-hit attack, he just parries it. So I should not have equipped these things. Oh god. Like I should not have equipped this attack. I should not have equipped the punching. Because it's just a waste of space for this fight. Yeah, this game is pretty forgiving when you die during these, especially the big boss fights, because they're so multi-part. They just sets you back to the last part. It's really nice. Oh, great. You stop Beyblading. Oh, come on. I like took every hit from that attack. I'm getting sloppy. Yeah. I think I can use potions mid-attack, too. I don't know how Clive does it, but... Hey, can you stop doing the Beyblade? Stop parrying my attacks, it's really annoying. Only I can parry attacks. Oh, come on, are you kidding me? Eat a laser to the face. Right, there's gonna be a cutscene here, that's why I can't kill him, right? Torgal and Sleipnir off to the side watching all this unfold.
Is at an end. And we both know the truth.
That this battle isn't finished yet.
Stand victorious. My will that prevailed.
That's what you think, Clive.
Your will? No. It was his. Clive Rossfield.
He's gonna fall off and come back up as Odin. There's no way I'm gonna do this without an Odin fight. Dark Shard. Also, I need to vampire suck his powers out. Oh, thank you for the stretch. I really need it. My hands are cramping like no tomorrow. Oh, hey, Torgal. Oh, thanks for calling Kirby.
Perhaps there is strength in will. Would that I had not relinquished my own.
You relinquished nothing. What was it, if not will, that made you strive for a new world? Strive to win your master's approval.
Don't try to make him feel better, Clive.
You were shown a fantasy, and you chose to believe it. But you were wrong.
Say the thing. Say the thing.
There is no world, but the one we live in.
It was his final fantasy.
And that world is worth saving, even if it means killing a god.
Wait, do I not actually get an Odin fight as Ifrit? Okay, there we go.
Bold words. From one who has served the Lord so
I mean, yeah, it's the hardest boss fight I fought as Clive, but
pointless.
I wanted a big thing.
But I almost forgot. I promised that I would make you presentable. Did I not?
Oh. Oh no, you're just gonna give me your powers. Darkness.
We shall fulfill our destinies.
Come on, Clive, you could definitely shake him off.
Just the Lord's mother crystals
You could definitely shake him off, Clive.
Come, Clive Rossfield. Take what is rightfully yours. Become one with God. No.
Chop his hand off or something then, Clive. Come on. Yeah, you could have done that sooner.
At long last, salvation. I'm coming home. Mother.
Tell me, how does it feel?
Oh, you shut up and go away.
Show yourself! Face me!
How does it feel to consume your rival's strength? To gorge yourself on their beam? To edge step by trembling step ever closer to the divine? With or without a will, you are still but a vessel. Our vessel. Behold, how your body shudders in anticipation of its fate.
Oh, it's not yours yet.
No. Come then, O wayward child. We shall await you upon the back of the first worm. There all shall end and begin again.
Yeah, I just know we're gonna go back to the hideaway and there's gonna be a ton of side quests. I know it. I just know it. Meanwhile... Oh no, Byron! You better survive.
Why the hell is my city falling with the captain? Don't ask me, ask them! Since when was Eugenhamel one to hide when there was a fight to be had? Since they stripped me of my rank and banished me from the battlefield. Now I'm stuck wiping the backsides of this lot while the city burns and my right tails off with a man half my age! And then you turn up! What the hell are you doing here anyway? What indeed? The enemy numbers 200,000 or more, counting yours. There are simply not enough soldiers garrisoned in the capital to repel an army of that size. Then one of the central keep. held by a contingent of soldiers and bearers from the surrounding boroughs. They are the sole reason it still stands. And all it took was an army on their doorstep to bring them together.
The prospect of death does put things into perspective.
Perspective. Perhaps it's what we lacked all along.
This does not look good. It'd be awesome right now if it transitioned to me playing as Byron.
Hamill, I need you to lend me some of your best men. Preferably all of them. My best men? Does it look like I have any more? I admit this might not be the most convenient time, but my nephew's in trouble. And I may have already promised him your help. Your nephew, the outlaw?
Is this the time to be talking about this?
My soldiers have better things to do than die for nothing. Then you and he are of the same mind. I fight for the opposite. He fights for a world in which they shouldn't have to live and die for nothing. And he fights today to give us all a chance of a better tomorrow. Be that as it may, a handful of men cannot stand against the kingdom.
Who dat?
Then mayhap they are the wrong men.
Oh, Dion!
Well, I'll be damned. Our numbers are few, but I shall rally as many of my dragoons as I'm able. You, apprise the Lord Strategist of the state of the city's defenses.
Yes, Your Radiance.
And you would fight alongside us?
I owe the Phoenix a debt.
Does this vouch for my nephews?
Aye, but I still have my doubts about you.
Which we can discuss later.
Indeed.
I love bickering old men.
Garrisoned in the keep. Captain, do you know how many yet remain?
Allow me to confirm. Commander?
Whatever their number, Randalar will be needing
Gather the
them
bodies
all.
and build a pyre in the courtyard. Quickly.
Oh, Terrence is alive! I forgot about you.
My lord.
I just assumed he died.
You will find a girl there.
Oh, the medicine girl.
We are in the middle of a war.
I owe her my life, and I always pay my debts. You are to see that she is provided for.
Dion, I cannot leave.
But you shall. If I am ever to be worthy of the forgiveness of our people, then I must earn it. And I must earn it by my hand, and my hand alone. Know that I do not ask this lightly.
And know that I will do it.
Farewell, Terence.
You'll see each other again. Don't worry. You'll be fine. Happily ever after.
Farewell. My prince.
No, 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 no. You are gonna see each other again. The only two gay men in all of Valicia. It's more like the only two gay men in all 16 Final Fantasies. Okay, well that's a lie, but you know what I mean. All of Square Enix.
Clive! Thank fuck. You alright?
I am. But I'm a damn sight better for seeing you, Joshua.
And Barnabas.
The king is dead.
So they're all...
They are, but so is their killer. He can't hurt anyone anymore. You're safe.
Gav, we need to talk.
I'm sorry, Clive. You know I want nothing more than to go with you.
I do. But I'm glad you're heading back to the Enterprise nonetheless. And not just for Edda's sake. Our people need to know what happened here.
You can count on me.
As can she, I hope.
Thank you, me lords.
Do you think that was wise?
Wiser than leaving a woman with child alone in the Deadlands. They'll be safer at the hideaway. For now, at least. This land is overrun with Akashic. The king himself was long turned, albeit by choice, all to serve Ultima, in his damnable quest to forge the perfect vessel.
The chaos Barnabas wreaked upon nation after nation. How many were killed for this?
He didn't consider it killing, or a mercy of sorts. A way to end their suffering. He truly wanted to save mankind, and ultimately use that.
As he uses us.
But why us? What are we?
What are we? We are dominance. That is our fate. But that doesn't mean we have to accept it, which is why we fight. For the right to deny it. Is that not so?
It is. For our sins. Barnabas said something else. That the Mother Crystals were Ultimas.
Ultimas? Are you certain?
We know that the Mother Crystals have been leading the land of Ether. And we also know that it's this which hastens the spread of the Blight. But what I cannot fathom is what Ultima stands to gain from that. What did you find at the Stronghold?
The truth about Ultima's prize. For so long, I believed it to be you, and you alone. Yet, it is not merely a freat that he desires, but a freat and phoenix both. That which we became in the skies over Twinside. Only when the twin flames are joined shall his vessel be complete. Quite why he needs a vessel is another question. Unless there is something he cannot achieve without one. Something his immaterial form precludes. Something requiring an unthinkable amount of ether and a body resilient enough to channel it. If I did not know better, brother, I would think that he meant to cast a spell. A spell 1,000 years in the making. A spell to end all spells.
Ultima's gonna cast Ultima.
And he cannot do it without us. Nor without the Mother Crystals. But if we destroy them all, we will stop not only the Blight, but Ultima as well. We stick to the plan then. Only this time,
we face him together.
Well, it's a long walk to Stone here. Let's not keep Ultima waiting.
Brotherhood. Night, Ash. Thank you so much for coming by. Hope you have a good day at class tomorrow. I have claimed a portion of the icon Odin's essence. I heard that Odin's is kind of fun but different. Attuning with Odin only changes the elemental aspect, blah blah blah. Gungnir, frenetic flurry of attacks that damages all enemies within range. Odin's iconic feat, Arm of Darkness, could be used to temporarily transform Clive's weapon into Odin's legendary blade. Landing attack slowly charges the blade, readying it for Zantetsuken, which is executed by holding square. Zantetsuken potency is determined by the blade's charge at the time of execution.
When Barnabas fell, his magic died with him. The road to Stone here is barred to us no longer.
Odin's iconic feat. Yes, his feat. For free. It's funny when, like, it's funny when there's, like, a spell in the Final Fantasy series that is used across games, but then in some games it's, like, very plot important. Like, here it's, like, Ultima, but then in other games Ultima is just a regular spell. Or, like, Meteor from FF7, it's like, oh, it's this all-powerful spell, and then other games it's like, no, I can just cast Meteor willy-nilly whenever I want. Also, I was thinking about, you know, the first time we saw that scene where Barnabas was sleeping with Ultima, and Ultima took the form of Benedicta, and then Hugo, and then his mother. Way back at the beginning of the game, we saw that cutscene where Benedicta was sleeping with Barnabas. Was that actually Ultima? I was just thinking about that because I was confused at the time, because I thought it implied that Benedicta, like, slept with all these men of power to gain their trust and manipulate them. I mean, Barnabas was her king, but then she was also with Hugo. But then, I think her thing with Hugo was the real thing, and then maybe the thing with Barnabas was actually just Ultima. I don't know. Or maybe, well, I know I thought it was just because, like, he was her king, so she was like, let me serve you, but maybe it was, maybe it was Ultima. Because we did see it, like, at the very, very, very beginning of the game. She, like, made out with Hugo in the hallway. And then that happened before... Actually, the other one was a flashback, so I guess we won't really know. Then again, who knows, right? What else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so, like, to my knowledge, like, there's no main Final Fantasy characters across the series that are explicitly stated as being, like, gay or lesbian. Like, Vanille and Fang definitely have a lot of, like, fan baiting, but, you know, it's never explicitly said. I know in 14, though, there are minor NPCs that are 100% confirmed to be gay, but they're, like, really, really minor NPCs that, like that are involved in like a couple side quests that you would not do unless you were, you know, not doing the main story. Or actually, one of them's a dungeon unlock quest, but yeah. Well, maybe we'll see a little bit more representation in the future. Times are a-changin'. Actually, let's look at the map. Are there side? Oh, there's definitely side quests. There's one here. Oh, that's it. No, I'm not talking about the main character in 14. Like, I mean, like, NPC with NPC in 14. There are a few of those, but they're very minor NPCs. Yusanoha, thank you so much for coming by. Hope you have a good rest. We'll catch you next time. Like, off the top of my head, I do know that the 2 NPCs that unlock Wanderer's Palace hard mode are confirmed to be gay. But they don't even have real names.
Still alive, are ya? If you're gonna buy something, be quick about it. You'll not find a better price than that. It'd better all be here. You're rubbing me blind, you know. It'd better all be here. The stews
To what do I owe the honor? The sound of ringing steel.
Has filled the streets of Dravod since before anyone can remember. And there's not a smith worth his salt who didn't apprentice under one of the village masters. Me and Zoltan worked Old Falcon's boundary till our lungs burned and our skin turned black, but we were happy.
Till we weren't.
Till we weren't. Things change, people change, and we can either change with them or we can stay stuck in the past. Me and my old mate, we've chosen to put our past behind us so Dravods can have a future. A future where young smiths can be proud of work done well and work done right. Just like here. Who knows, maybe someday my apprentice will be someone else's master and work them just as hard as I do him.
So, will it be? Anything else?
Okay, nothing new there. I only see one side quest on the map now, so it's probably not like a big side quest stretch. Probably just one of those ones that happen like on the road.
Knowledge hoarded is knowledge lost. If I may observe.
Your brother is possessed of a rare gift, and I do not mean the flames of the phoenix. Words, Clive. His findings on Ultima and the Circle of Malleus are worthy of the great Moss himself. Should he choose to devote himself to this path, I hazard he could one day become quite the historian. Not before you and he finish your own story.
Can wait.
After all, for that is what it does.
I have a few new notes that might interest you. Now this, I believe you will find most interesting.
I'm curious about this one. The mother of King Barnabas of Waloed, or at least an Ultima summoned illusion of her as His Majesty remembers her in life. One of the few surviving descendants of the children of Zemeckis who fled from Valsia and took refuge in the outer continent, only returning generations later. She and her clan were devout believers in the Circle of Malleus, whose teachings she instilled in her son, teachings and memories that he treasures to this day. Alas, her beliefs were also to prove her downfall, as she was killed in a raid by the followers of a rival religion. Oops, no. Oh, I didn't mean to click that one. Far fabled scholar of Valsian history and legend, when Harpocrates was but a boy, Moss visited his village on the outer continent. Perhaps seeing something of himself in the young scholar-to-be, the great master took him under his wing. However, their time together was soon to come to an end, for one day, Moss and his journal were gone, leaving nothing but a note behind, one which read, "Seek knowledge." The young Harpocrates took these words to heart. An ancient religion from which more recent savior cults grew. Its beliefs were originally drawn from murals left behind by the people who lived near the Mother Crystal, Zemeckis. While at one point it was a faith followed throughout Valicia, Time and the fading of memory of the ancient culture that spawned it saw it gradually fall from favor. That's too long.
You wish to study the tomes?
I think I have all the people now, though. Oh, there's Edda. Oh, she has a name! Medicine Girl has a name! Congratulations! Her travels took her from Dhalmekia to the Crystalline Dominion, where she nearly lost her life when all the city was but destroyed by Bahamut. After the flames died down, she labored to mend the wounds of the injured townspeople, eventually coming across a collapsed Prince Dion, who she nursed back to health. She has a name, everyone! Cahill. Also, did I ever read this? Oh, this doesn't say anything anyways. Who else is new? Probably the guy that... Oh, maybe it's this one. The guy that Uncle was with.
Did you learn everything you needed?
Trying to see who else has new things to say. Probably there. Oh, that's not a big deal. Okay, so there's a side quest here, and then there's our goal.